Good evening, everybody. It's 9:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast on a Monday. That must mean it's time for your weekly Calamity Jane live stream. Good evening, James. How are you doing on this late spring evening?
Good evening, Eric. I'm doing just dandy. No
Yes.
complaints on my side. Just ramping up for another stream and hanging out and talking
Uh-huh.
about whatever's the topic of the day that we decide to talk about,
Indeed.
or
Indeed.
evening.
Yeah. Yeah. For evening for me. The sun probably hasn't even set where you're at.
It's getting it's getting out. It's
Getting
setting a
dusky.
little
Getting a
bit.
little dusky.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember if Castlevania 2 ever had a setting where you had dusk or just goes right to night. I think it was just a black screen to go, and then what a horrible night or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think I don't think yeah, I don't think there was a dusk or dawn. I think it was just
Yeah,
day and night. But it's
it's just a
still
night. Yeah, yeah.
man, what a diamond in the rough. Like that game is unplayable in its native form,
Hmm.
right? If you the localization was so bad that all of the hints that were
Yeah,
supposed to direct you to where to
so
go
bad.
were so badly translated
Yeah.
that the game in English becomes fundamentally unplayable. And so you have to use a guide to help you understand where you need to go and what you need to do. But if you can get that, I actually like the game. I mean, is it as good as Castlevania 3? No. I like Castlevania 3 way more. Um I think that there's it is a diamond in the rough, kind of, in my opinion.
There's the soundtrack once again is incredible in that game. As
Yeah,
the three core Castlevanias are all masterpieces in my opinion.
classics.
I'm pretty much with you on that. Like, and I like number two too. I know a lot of people didn't like it because of how obtuse it was with trying to figure out what you need to do. You need is the one it's to this day, I think it's one of the only games that I played where you were required to have a guide to play
Mhm.
it. There's no way to not play it without the guide.
Mhm.
You're wasting your time.
Mhm.
To this day, I don't think I've ever played a game besides that one. But yeah, this is a really long-winded way of saying that. No, I was going to say we're at dusk, but Castlevania 2 does not have a dusk in it. So I should be
Okay.
referring to I should be referring to Ocarina of Time or something, where kind of you
Yeah.
do see the slow 3D
Have you
sun.
heard the owl call or the crow cry,
Yeah,
the cock cry
yeah,
yet, right?
yeah. Yeah. I'm not at that. We're at that point now where it's dusk and everything's turning kind of orangey.
Mhm.
But it's not nighttime just yet. So man, that was really nerdy.
Oh no, in fact I want to dwell on Castlevania 2 for just a moment longer before we move
Sure.
on.
Yeah.
A few years ago, God, probably 10 years ago now, or more, just an independent dev relocalized all of Castlevania 2 into an actual, like, understandable
Hmm.
story, and the
Hmm.
game is actually somewhat playable when everything is localized as intended from Japanese.
Huh. Interesting.
It's obviously it's one of those, you have to use an emulator, right? And you
Hmm.
have to, like, load in a patch file that the ROM boots off of, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a native thing, but it's still cool that someone went and took the effort to do that. And it's surprising to me that Konami hasn't gone back and revisited that at all.
Yeah, it's a shame. They should make. They should. I mean, it's probably a gold mine, not gold mine, but at least a treasure chest waiting to happen because you could release the native version and a revamped version or an
Mm-hmm.
enhanced version with the right text in the boxes, and yeah, I think people would really dig Castlevania 2,
Mm-hmm.
as well as that. But with all that said, Castlevania 2, the art was incredible, music was incredible, the gameplay was tight.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
no issues really with it,
Really
except
forward
for
thinking in terms of
yeah,
how the world expands, the day-night cycle, everything.
yeah, yeah. It was really ahead of its time. Unfortunately, just buried with the wrong text boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, all right, well, I'm gonna roll into doing some animation stuff tonight while we hang out.
Okay.
So I will go to share screen, share, and then, yeah, anybody welcome to our channels where Eric and I hang out. We talk nerdy stuff like you just saw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While I animate and we hang out in the writer's room and we just kind of talk about whatever kind of comes comes top of mind.
Comes to mind. Yes.
Yeah. So Castlevania is a fun one. I mean, we've talked about Castlevania plenty of times, so I'm sure we could kind of revisit that while I get kind of ramped up. But for tonight's scene, I'm going to be just kind of finishing up Uncle Leon doing his gaze
Mm-hmm.
towards the Warhog in the next shot. So here's something interesting. So I have an interesting obstacle course to navigate. As you can see, we have the highlight of Uncle Leon and Calamity. That's kind of like where your line of sight is. That's what I've been using for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did a storyboard, I had the highlights kind of go into angry pose for the highlights, which is completely unnatural and rule breaking. But that's the whole point of this cartoon is I was breaking a lot of rules anyway. I mean, Calamity Jane and Uncle Leon, their line of sight is dictated by highlights in their eyes. It's not about the natural light at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But mushing his eyeballs, his highlights to be slits might be off-putting, but I'm not sure. I think I could probably get away with it. But that was in my head as I was thinking about this scene tonight, how I'm going to actually tweak this. But anyways, I just kind
Mm.
of want to speak out loud about it as we go, and I guess we'll see where we end up. The other thing I was thinking about
Okay.
is instead of reducing the eyes to slits, I actually might tip the hat lower and use the brim of the hat to make it look like he's angry, even though he's not.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
so
yeah, I I see where you're coming from because his eye structure is the big ball of green
mhm.
in addition to just the whites. If you just slanted out the whites a little bit, would that look weird
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
right? Yeah, so I see what you're talking about there.
yeah,
Um but yeah, I mean I think you're right. I mean it's possible that the the hat could do the heavy lifting there.
yeah. I was thinking this. Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing. So your gut is kind of thinking about the hat. You're kind of in love. You're kind of liking the hat idea,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, I think the hat might work. You know, I think it's up to you to try to make that a reality, but I think like yeah, making the ice slits probably yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
that's I
kind of
mean
does.
that looks pretty cool. Like right there, even just moving that hat down, it
Yeah,
works pretty well.
yeah.
So,
So, yeah. So, anyways, I'll be kind of tackling that tonight, but I am going to do probably do the hat brim technique first. Let's see how it looks, and then we'll
mhm.
talk about it a little bit later. But
Mhm.
yeah, so that's what I'll be doing tonight is kind of doing that and kind of do some cleanup stuff here and there for Uncle Leon. But yeah, that's kind of the plan.
Cool. Well, that's good. Seems like a worthwhile endeavor for Leon Chameleon. You've been consuming anything of interest of late?
I've been so I tried to get you on to that Ninja Turtles game.
I did, yeah, and we just got both so busy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know we didn't get a chance to sync up to play multiplayer together,
Mm-hmm.
but I did manage to get a run in with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say, what is the name of the game anyway? I can't remember. Like, there's so many Ninja Turtle games now. What is it? Uh,
Shattered uh Shattered Reality. I don't remember honestly.
I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. Splintered Fate.
Splintered Fate. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I got
Splintered
you.
Fate.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So playing through it, I have to say, what I do like, I think the strongest aspect of the game so far in my run was the voice acting is terrific.
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased towards I am my favorite turtle is Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy they got to play Raphael, the voice actor was terrific. He actually makes me laugh, even though with the same lines getting triggered all the time. I think for him, when there's no pizza, when he's getting pizza, he'll ask, "What? No ranch?" He'll say that, and that's
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. Of course, Raph would say that, that kind of thing. So I'm playing through the game, and that type of nostalgia bug gets constantly, constantly, that nostalgia itch, I guess you could say it does get itched as I play through it. I really enjoy it. I think it's been fun in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay wise, it's okay. I'm not completely like blown away with it, but I wasn't expecting anything anyway. I knew it was kind of like a Hades clone. I loved Hades, and this game I think has potential to have replayability where I'll go back and do a couple more things with it. But what? Yeah. What do you? Did you play it? Did you get a chance to do a run or anything in it?
Yeah, I
Or
did the first main run. Made it past Shredder's daughter. So
hmm
past the boat section. Made it a little bit into the second section before I finally kicked the bucket. Played the
hmm
arcade mode for a little bit. The thing that Metalhead like was like, oh, I anyway, there's a whole story justification for it. But you can go into a different area of their hideout, and there's a different style of mission objective that you can endeavor. And then I did a second run, but I didn't defeat uh, Shredder's daughter this time.
Okay.
I'd say at this point I'd put in probably 2 or 3 hours into it.
hmm
Um, it's okay. Uh, I was expecting a little bit more like Diablo and a little less like Hades, but
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. I guess I mean I was biased. I saw the sort of isometric point of view, and my uh priors kind of got the best of me, and I'm old, and so my first thought was Diablo rather than Hades.
hmm hmm
Um but it's a little bit harder than I would like.
Okay.
I'm even playing on the easiest difficulty level.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I guess that's the whole point of it. I will say though, when I did the second run, the I mean, the voice acting is excellent, but the writing does strain under the weight of the story,
Mm-hmm.
trying to justify why I'm fighting Leatherhead again, why I'm going through this exact same path for this again, like just like I from the mechanical standpoint I understand, because that's just what the game loop is, but from a story standpoint it's just sort of like, okay, after the first time, I can tell that you're really trying hard to justify why we're doing this over and over and
Yeah, while
over
we're doing
again.
multiple runs.
Hmm.
Yeah. hmm
But yeah, no, I wholly agree. The voice acting was a surprise for me.
hmm
How good it was, and frankly, the writing is remarkably good for the game as well. I mean,
hmm
honestly, the voice acting and the characterizations just in general are the real highlight for me.
hmm
The like I know this is kind of petty, but I think my biggest complaint really is that there's no animation when you hit a destroyable box. You just walk over it and it crumbles. And I don't know
Yeah.
why that irritates me so much, but in Diablo you have to attack it or you interact with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and it's fun to attack. So why aren't you encouraging me to attack these things? Why am I just running over them and they just crumble? Like, it was just, I don't know. I thought it was just an odd choice.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one too. Like, what's funny is when I played through, I didn't play it as long as you. I actually played 45 minutes. Did exact pretty much got the same place you did. I got to Shredder's daughter slash granddaughter. I don't know. Is she granddaughter or daughter? I
I,
can't remember.
the my memory of the lore of Ninja Turtles is so old at this point. It's
Yeah,
basically
and there's
just
so much more stuff now added to it.
exactly, yeah. It's
Yeah.
so I don't
Anyways,
honestly know.
yeah, it's a Shredder lineage daughter of some sort. Got to her, beat her. I got to some other vigilante. I think I was on the boat. That was in the same sequence where the vigilante from New York, whatever, she shows up and she has
Yeah,
her suit on. She
yeah. What
talks
is
to you.
she,
Yeah,
random or not random?
yeah, or nobody.
Nobody. That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah. So
which is
talk
a
to
character
her,
I'm
and
not
then
familiar with at all.
yeah, so a brand new character. And then got farther along and pretty much the same place you got to. I got farther along and then got to a point where it was overwhelming, and got knocked out. Went back to the lair, kind of did a couple of things, and then thought, okay, this is good enough. And then I'll just kind of
Hmm.
I'll play it eventually, either with you or play it again another run. But it's funny, like when I first was playing it, I was doing the same thing. I was like, I went into the boxes and crates and I was just attacking them, thinking, okay, that's what I need to do. But then eventually, as I kept playing, I would just run over them, and I kind of got disappointed. I was like, oh, that's all I need to do.
Hmm.
So I had the same
Hmm.
reaction. My end result reaction was the same as yours. Like, that's kind of a there's something satisfying about hitting a button to do that, and not
Yeah,
now that you just run over it, you can just lazy run over everything. You don't
yeah.
have to do anything.
I,
Yeah,
I
I'm with you
also
on that.
I also think that the UI, or not the UI, but the UX needs a little bit of polish, because I don't fully understand how the elemental damage system works. I have trouble understanding what elemental type is on my tax, you know, if
Hmm.
any, how those are affecting the enemies, how they are interacting with each other, if at all, right?
Hmm.
There's a
Hmm.
lot of game systems that they don't even spend even the most rudimentary amount of time trying to explain. And maybe there is like a training area in the hideout that I just haven't found.
Hmm.
But I feel like there are entire subsystems of combat that I do not understand. And so I feel like I'm not actually playing the game as well as I should be, because there are systems that I don't understand how to use.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah, like same here. I mean, I started out. I kind of just by just randomly arbitrarily picking flame was kind of what I was doing. And I noticed that when I was using flame attack, when I would attach flame to like a dash, for example. So I noticed that it would do lingering damage as a flame thing on a character.
uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of, I figured like the rest of them all kind of do their own thing. I started doing tech, which was still a little bit confusing as to what it will do
Mm-hmm. Same with
as the game goes
ooze.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh, I didn't see ooze. Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's
so
what I
the
didn't see.
four elemental types that I'm familiar with are ooze, um, tech, which I don't remember what the actual in-game name for it is, fire, and water. Like those are the four elemental attack types that I'm aware of.
Hmm.
I don't know where to even look to determine what effects the tech and ooze elemental types have on enemies. I mean, fire and water is pretty self-explanatory. Um, and but is it all just the same, and it's just the enemies are weak to difference, or you know what I'm saying? Like the
Hmm.
game does a really bad job of explaining its own systems to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think that, like, if they had spent a little bit more time um on that specific aspect, I would be having more fun. But because I feel like that there's this entire subsystem that is impenetrable to me right now,
Hmm.
it's somewhat discouraging. 'Cause it's like, I don't why am I picking water? If I'm picking water at this checkpoint when I've already picked
Hmm.
a fire elemental type, does that negate the fire elemental type, or how does it affect, right? It doesn't, they don't
Yeah.
give you any information. Like, if you select something, uh it'll sometimes tell you, oh, if you select this power, it replaces this other power, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't explain how any of the elemental systems work with each other, or if they're mutually exclusive, or what, you know.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think that that's my real biggest actual critique of the experience for me so far, is that how the elemental damage system works.
Hmm.
Running through boxes rather than attacking them was sort of just like a nitpick, a little bit of an immersion breaker, honestly, nothing really
Hmm.
major. um and then the the mental gymnastics that the story goes through to justify why you are revisiting the same locations over and over and over again.
Yeah.
um but none of those are deal breakers. I mean, like I said, I've played it for about 3-4 hours. I am enjoying it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Definitely already have gotten my $3 worth, so it wasn't a wasted purchase.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I'm glad. At least you got that going. That's good. Uh, so we will end up playing this eventually together at
Yeah,
some point,
I think so. I think so.
and then give it more of a run. That's cool.
I will say, though, a game that I picked up, it just came out, it's only $10. Vampire Crawlers, the
Okay.
follow-up game to Vampire Survivors. It
Wow, they
is
made a sequel?
Well, it's not a
Jeez.
sequel at all. It's a completely different genre of games using the same basic visual style. Um, it is a like an old school dungeon crawler where you are on in a first person perspective on a square grid, and each square has either a power up to collect or an enemy to fight or a treasure chest to open. And you move around the square grid killing enemies until you get to the boss. And as you level up, you unlock new items that affect your combat system. As you progress through the dungeon, you get it's a deck builder. You add new cards to your deck, and then that, like Balatro or Slay the Spire or any of these other types of similar types of roguelite deck builders. Your deck expands on your run until you die, and then you start over, right?
Mm.
But the thing about Vampire, I've really been enjoying it, and it tends to avoid some of the pitfalls of Splintered Fates, which we just finished talking about, in that um, the environments are completely generic. There is no story, so they don't need to justify why you're going back to these places. Also, even when you go back to the previous environment, it's procedurally generated, so the floor layout's different every time. Um, but yeah, I've been having a pretty good time with it actually.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last deck builder I played was Monster Train.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great I think for you and I don't mind those roguelite games overall. I think I'm much more forgiving with them. I just for whatever reason I get that addiction bug to them where
Mm-hmm.
you're more immune to it than I am. But I always get wrapped up in it. So this game that you're describing, if it's a deck builder, does all the same stuff and rewards you a little bit, even with the run, then I would probably would just eat it up. Just like I'm still playing Balatro right now,
Yeah.
and for crying out loud, and that game, it's super unforgiving when you get to gold stake. It's
Oh yeah.
impossible,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah yeah. No, I gave up on Balatro. I enjoyed it a lot. Spent many hours with it, but ultimately kind of gave up on it. The RNG just got too bad for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say, for both uh, Splintered Fates and Vampire Crawlers, I do not feel encumbered by the RNG in either of those games, which I think is a feather in the
Okay.
cap of both of them. Right.
Uh-huh. But you're
Um,
saying that Splinter Fates does fail. Can you reiterate again? Like you said that it was failing where the vampire one does not.
yeah. So where it fails is you have the exact same environments
Okay.
as you play through Splintered Fate, and it's
Okay.
if
That's what it is. Okay.
if there's any randomness in the environments, it's so subtle that I didn't notice it.
Uh-huh.
Whereas it's really clear in Vampire Crawlers every time you hop in, even though the graphics are the same, the layouts are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike Splintered Fates, you very rapidly unlock other environments to go to, so you can hop around and visit other environments. So you're not always repeating the same exact sequence of environments over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I appreciate as well. I also think that Vampire Crawlers, because there is no story, there is less overhead. There's less,
Yeah.
legwork that the developers have to do to justify why you're in each of these environments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, I think you should check it out. It's $10 right now. It's on basically everything. And I know
Okay.
that you were a Vampire Survivors fan. And this is, I mean, it's the same kind of silliness as that first game, same in weird, nonsensical graphics. Um, the but the deck building mechanics are really robust and super fun. Yeah,
Here's
it's
a
a
one
recommend for me.
here's a one thing that, and it doesn't sound like this, the setup isn't the same, but Vampire Survivors, the only challenge I had with it after I played it quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
was my eye strain was really
Mm-hmm.
apparent playing that game. I never had that before with any video game until Vampire Survivors. So there's so much to take in. Your eye
Yeah.
doesn't know where to decide what to look at.
Yeah.
And I think after I was done playing it, my eyes were strained and like they were worn out. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I should play this game anymore for health reasons because it was just too much. It's a
Yeah.
great game for that, but also one of the greatest aspects of the game is a big detriment for me to play it. Unfortunately, it's probably along the same. It probably falls into the same category somewhere, the distant cousin to FPS games for me, where
Mm.
I just can't play them for very long, or I just get worn out. That's
Yeah.
the only thing. But if it's a deck builder, then my eye has plenty of places to relax.
It's.
No,
I mean, it's a noisy game, but it's not Vampire Survivors noisy. I mean, that game was
yeah,
incredibly noisy, which is one of
yeah,
its assets, right? I mean, like
yeah,
that's by design.
yeah.
Um, but no, Vampire Crawlers is not noisy in that same way.
So speaking of other roguelites, then did you ever play Hades or any other type of games like that?
Hades was
Where
just way too damn hard for me. Like,
okay,
I mean,
all
like
right,
Splintered Fates on easy is a little challenging for me, at least right
mm-hmm,
now. But
mm-hmm.
Hades was just like the amount of time that it was taking me to unlock enough persistent items to progress faster. It was the difficulty curve at the beginning was so steep that I got discouraged, basically,
Okay,
is what it boils
all
down to.
right,
So
yeah,
I gave up on
it's
Hades pretty fast. So
yeah, and again, the rogue element and always being able to unlock something kept me going in that game. But I agree, it is a difficult game though, it definitely is.
hmm
Not for the faint of heart. I wouldn't consider it like Dark Souls hard or anything, but it is hard.
yeah,
And it could be frustrating at times
yeah, I
if you didn't
think
have the right loadout or something,
yeah, I think also I get bored very easily.
Yeah.
Um and roguelites and roguelikes in particular, because of just the nature of the design, there is a built-in sameness to them.
Uh-huh.
It's not bad. It's good. It's by design. That's on purpose, you know. They, these developers want you to become familiar with these spaces. They want you to master these spaces so that when you do overcome the challenge, there's a sense of accomplishment from it, right? So
Sure.
like I totally
Hmm.
get it. It's not a complaint, but um if I see, like, for instance, I'm already getting bored after 3 run-throughs, one in arcade mode and then 2 in story mode. I'm already bored of the first section of Splintered Fate, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I've only seen the second environment one time at this point.
Hmm.
Um, I think I would like Splintered Fate more, and if you could, like, when you finished one zone, it unlocked another zone, and then you could go and you could jump around just to give your brain a visual break, right? A little bit of
Hmm.
variety. Um, but yeah, so as a result, it's just like I'm kind of sick of looking, and Splintered Fates is fine. It's an okay looking game. It gets the
Hmm.
job done, but it's
Yeah.
not like it's not a work of art. It's the graphics are good, functional, but it's not anything that I'm gonna nominate for an award.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and so
It just
yeah, I've been finding myself getting bored really fast with it, basically.
here's my I know we're kind of doing a little bit of a complaint session a little bit with it, even though we like the game, which is
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
You
for
can
me,
like something and still not think it's perfect.
yeah, yeah. But well, all the turtle games I've played, I'm just used to having and this is huge bias for me, but playing every single Turtles game so far, all of them have a jump button. And I know
Mm-hmm.
it. I know the nature of this game. You can't really use a jump with a dungeon crawler. But Turtles are about being dynamic, moving
Yep.
up in the air, doing stuff like that, and doing attacks. I always kind of felt that was the only thing I was longing for in this game. I was like, man, I know they can jump in lore and in games and in cartoons. Why can't they're ninjas? They're supposed to jump. Like at
Yeah.
least having that move that can show them that they jump, but they just dash and then
Yep.
straight up, they're just on the ground and doing their thing. That's my only real legit gripe I have for the game. But I don't know what the solution is because I don't know if I've played a dungeon crawler game where I have a jump. I can't. I mean, off the top of my head, do you remember playing a game where there's a jump and you can at least kind of line up with your shadow where you can land and stuff. I don't think there is.
Not
No.
really. Not that I can think of off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but I agree with you. I kept pressing the dodge button, expecting to jump,
Yeah.
and it took
Yeah.
me a little bit to get accustomed to that. It's not a really a critique, right? Because as you said, I don't. The game doesn't really warrant a jump feature. Um, but I mean, I've been trained so much to know that Ninja Turtles jump that the fact that they don't
Yeah.
jump in this game was a
Yes.
little bit
It's
like,
it was yeah,
wait,
it's a
this
little
feels
weird.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but and I think though that effect is kind of exacerbated because in the story sections in cutscenes they will jump these like ridiculously long distances, hundreds of feet it feels like,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa. You can do this in cutscenes, but you can't give me
You
even a
can't.
dumb useless
Yeah.
jump. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You got buttons
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
spare. Put a useless jump on one of the buttons. Seriously.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So unfortunately, that's the main thing. Other than that, it's fine. It's a good game. I would
Mm,
say, if we were giving it a rating system, I'd probably give it a 7 out of a 10 out of our. Is it a waste of time or is it worth your money?
right. Yeah,
The
your
the fact that
value.
it's
Yeah.
$3, the fact that it's $3 really shoots it up.
Oh yeah,
So really
absolutely.
higher.
Like I said,
I
I played it
mean,
for 2, 3 hours, and
that already paid
without
a
a doubt, it's
dollar,
like,
a
nope,
dollar an
this wasn't a
hour.
wasted money.
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's really good.
And I played it for 3 hours, and I wasn't like, well, that was a waste of time. I was like, no, I had
Yeah.
fun playing this, right? And I'll
Yeah.
probably come back to it too. I've just been very distracted. This is a really unusual year. The number of really high quality games, both from indie studios and AAA studios, we're not even into June, and the number of really, really, playable games that have come out this year has been really high.
Hmm.
In addition, late last year, both Sony and Microsoft did these insane publisher sales on Steam, and I picked up a ton of games on those
Hmm.
sales that I still haven't played through, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so it's just my active backlog is so deep right now. I'm just still like trying to get through it all. So
Yeah, it makes total sense. And Steam sales they're evil and good all at the same time.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's just they have it down to a science how to get your money.
Oh yeah, without
Um,
a doubt. Yeah, there's no question about it. They know what they're doing.
yeah, yeah. Same. There's plenty of other stuff that's that can take your eyeballs away. But yeah, hopefully we'll get a chance to play it and beat Shredder and get a run through and just go through and beat the game officially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Get a
kind of
good
where I'm
run.
at with it.
Yeah. No, I definitely I feel like the game will really shine in multiplayer. It seems to
Yeah.
me that it was absolutely designed with multiplayer in mind.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so I suspect that its entertainment value will increase significantly when we finally get a chance to play together.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something kind of to look forward to. Movie wise, I mean, I'm going down the list here, but
Mm.
I took Amita to go see The Devil Wears Prada 2 over the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's on our list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so this is not really binge watch, it's just a movie, but I finally watched Devil Wears Prada 1
Mm-hmm.
over the weekend, just to kind of prep to see it because it was never on my list to watch and everything like that. Um, so and again, it's kind of weird. Like I try to step out of my own. It is kind of weird because you already come in with your biases, and even with games, I try to do this too. But I try to pretend, okay, I'm just a sentient being floating on Earth to watch this movie. How is it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the quality of the writing? What's the acting like? I know it's not. I'm not into fashion, but if I'm watching this, am I entertained? If I was the audience member that was catered to, where would I be with this movie?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, I can see why it's a cult classic slash, just general classic. I don't even know if it's a cult classic. I mean,
I think it was
it's got
pretty
a really good,
successful. Yeah.
yeah, it's got a great cast, and it's just terrific. It's really well written, and the Miranda character, she's Meryl Streep as Miranda. She carried the whole movie. And I'll avoid spoilers for this, but number two was good in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, I feel like I feel like and this is part of the story, so we'll wait to see when you see it. Maybe we could talk about it. Us two guys talking about Devil Wears Prada. I mean, I'm looking forward to that stream.
Why not?
But
Yeah.
yeah, uh, I was just hoping to see more of the Miranda that I, as a viewer, knew and associated with in the first one, in
Mm.
this one, and she was a little more. Well, she was a little more tame in this one. But
Interesting.
naturally, it's been 20 years, so it's
Yeah.
interesting because people that have watched the movie 20 years ago, they've obviously the movie has resonance and it's been around for a long time, and so people get to ruminate, think about it, and like let the thoughts age with wine. Whereas me, I had a sugar rush and I just watched it like
Mm.
literally 2 days ago, and then I watched a sequel, so I have zero resonance with it, and so I have recency bias towards watching it a couple of days ago and then seeing what it was like now. I mean, seeing the sequel to it or whatever. Now, so my experience was a little bit different than compared to Amita's, and I'm sure a lot of people that have gone to see the movie. And in general, I think Amita really enjoyed it, and I did too. Again, the acting was great. The first half hour, the writing really captured me. I was actually enthralled with it the first half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Again, avoiding any spoilers, I'll wait till you see it and we can talk about it a little bit more. Where I kind of jumped off the train a little bit, but I didn't hate it. Like sometimes where I'll completely just hit the eject button. It was never an eject button moment, but I was a little bit more kind of disappointed with it a little bit. But it's still good. Still a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in general. So that was my pop culture vitamin dose for the weekend, was seeing Devil Wears Prada 2.
Good to
So
know. Good to know. Yeah, I think we've
yeah.
we've got a couple of friends that we were gonna go see it this weekend, but I had already scheduled something with another friend, so we're gonna reschedule it for another weekend.
Mhm.
But Atlanta's got a pretty big drive-in down here,
Oh, that's cool.
Starlight Drive-in, and it's starting to warm up a little bit. So I think we're gonna actually go try to catch it at the drive-in when we can
Nice.
find some free time.
Cool. 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 Yeah, I definitely think it's worth seeing. I mean, you don't have to go. I was teasing Meet about let's go see it in D box or go see it in XD, But obviously, that's the thing is
Yeah,
this movie is very forgiving. You don't have to see it in D
yeah.
box or XD or 3D. It's just a good old fashioned movie, and does its job well. So yeah, that's the general gist
All
of my
right.
report of pop culture stuff. Meanwhile, just to show you here, I mean, we can kind of wrap up if you want, unless you got
Okay.
anything else top of mind. But
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. All my topics were hit today.
cool. So we got Leon. He looks into the camera. And then we got him kind of laid up for the next shot here too with Calamity. So I think we kind of hit the right notes for tonight. Any thoughts on your end after seeing this?
I will say, if you go to the wide shot,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so Calamity's right leg.
Is right in the fire.
Oh no, 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 her other leg.
Oh, right leg. Oh, right leg. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It just seems
Here,
that,
let me see. Oh, yeah. It seems kind of off.
yeah,
Let
it
me
seems
see
like a little
something.
bow-legged or
That's a good catch. I was just throwing in the same leg, but let's fix that. We'll just flip this around.
yeah, that immediately solved the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a we'll fix it in post, but it's not post, but we can still fix that.
Okay.
Yeah, there we
Okay,
go.
great. Okay, excellent. Excellent.
I think her foot's still in the fire too much, so
Yeah,
I
it's,
still
it's
got to
probably
play
still
with
yeah,
the.
but
Yeah, she's
yeah.
burning her foot right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah. My
we'll
my
fix
knee
that.
doesn't hurt nearly as bad looking at that image now.
Yeah, but cool.
Um
Good eye.
yeah,
Good eye from the writer's room.
yeah, I can do things. Well, we'll call it there for the evening. Anybody who's watching this now or later on, consider heading over to calamityjane.rocks. That'll take you to our Patreon site. You can become a subscriber and help us make this cartoon a reality. Also on YouTube and Facebook, which you know because you're watching the stream, and we're also on Instagram. Just another place to update you about what's going on Calamity Jane. You can find that at Calamity Jane Salamander. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in with us. I believe we'll be back next week. I don't think I have anything going on.
Same here. I will say
Yes.
a slight warning, but I am getting called in for jury duty, and that's a week from
Oh,
today.
okay, okay,
But
okay.
you know how that works. Sometimes you just get called in and they cancel. So we'll see.
All right,
Um,
okay.
That's
So
the only thing.
tentative, yes. But otherwise, we'll try to keep you updated and let you know if something changes there. But on that front, but until then, stay safe out there, everybody, and have a great night. Good night.